In this video, you're going to learn an individual warm-up for the attack or spike. Here are 3 exercises: throwing with both hands, throwing with one hand, and hitting with one hand. Firstly, throwing with both hands. This exercise is going to warm up your arms, your shoulders, your neck, and your chest. Position yourself 4 paces from a wall. Hold the ball in both hands and throw it onto the floor so that it then rebounds against the wall and comes back towards you. For this exercise to be effective, use the upper part of your body, leaning forward slightly and lowering your head. Vary your throw, aiming further and further away from the wall. For example, move back 6 paces from the wall. Secondly, throwing with one hand. This warm-up helps prepare the upper half of the body for the strike. Remain 6 paces away from the wall and hold the ball with your strongest hand. Move your weakest foot forwards and stretch out your weakest arm to aim at the wall. Throw the ball high against the wall to a point facing you. Shift your body weight onto your left foot as you throw. When you have mastered this step, throw the ball, aiming this time at the floor in front of the wall. Thirdly, hitting with one hand. This exercise will prepare you for hitting during the game. Keeping in the same place, throw the ball up into the air above your head. Keeping your feet on the ground, hit the ball as it comes back down, aiming for the floor in front of the wall, as if you are making an attack. To learn this movement, you can watch our video on the spike. Make sure you don't hit hard, but concentrate on the movement of your arms and your shoulders. Repeat these warm-ups several times if necessary. Over to you. In this video, you will learn how to do a warm-up drill for 2 people, practicing attacking with a ball. The 3 exercises are throwing while stood on one leg, spiking, and spiking at the net. First up, throwing while balanced on one leg. The aim of this exercise is to warm up your supporting foot, shoulders, and your attacking arm. Stand a few meters away from your partner. If you are right-handed, balance on your left leg. Bend your right leg and slightly lift your foot up behind you. Aim at your partner with your left hand. Bring your right arm back behind your head and throw the ball straight to your partner. Repeat this exercise 10 times. To make the exercise more difficult, bounce the ball between you and your partner. Next up, spiking. Stay in the same position, but with your 2 feet on the ground. This time, throw the ball into the air above your head. If you are right-handed, put your left foot forward. On its way down, hit the ball towards the floor between you and your partner, as if it were an attack. To find out more, check out our video on spiking. Next up, spiking at the net. Stand in front of the net, 2 meters away from the sideline. Your partner should stand next to the sideline, 2 to 3 meters away from you, so they can get a good run-up. Throw the ball up in the shape of an arc between you and the sideline. Your partner takes their run-up, then jumps and spikes the ball as it starts to fall. The aim of this exercise is to practice setting up an attack. Concentrate on your run-up and your jump. Hit the ball softly, then gradually increase the strength of your spikes. Have a good warm-up. In this video, you'll learn how to practice jumping to attack or spike. You'll need a partner. Here are 2 exercises to practice. Jumping, then jumping with a run-up. Firstly, jumping. The aim of this exercise is to practice the last 2 steps of the jump and the jump itself. Step back to around 1.5 meters from the net, facing the opposite side. Your partner positions themselves near to the net and slightly to your right, if you're right-handed. They stand on a chair or bench and hold the ball in front of them, above the net, during the whole exercise. Step from your right foot to your left if you're right-handed, and jump. Raise your arms as you push off. Reach out and touch the ball in your partner's hands with your hitting arm. Don't forget to bend your knees as you push off to gain power, and when you land, to cushion the impact. Repeat this sequence a few times to master this part of the jump. Secondly, jumping with the run-up. This time you'll do the entire run-up sequence. Position yourself just in front of the 3-meter attack line, while your partner stays in the same position as before. Do a full run-up and, if you're right-handed, step left, right, left, one after the other. Before the last 2 steps, speed up your run. Jump off from your left foot and throw your arms back. Then land on your right foot, bringing your arms forward and touching the ball. Repeat the exercise several times. Practice well, because a good run-up is the key to a good attack. Over to you. In this video, you will learn how to control an attack or spike. We're going to see two situations: controlling while standing still, then controlling while moving. Firstly, controlling while standing still. Stand between the baseline and the 3-meter line. If you have a partner, he or she stands in front of the net facing you and on the same side of the court. Your partner hits a ball in your direction. Adopt the right posture in order to bump it with your forearm. Control the ball's momentum and return it towards your partner's head. Repeat this sequence 3 to 5 times, asking your partner to hit harder each time. Secondly, controlling while moving. Stand just in front of the baseline, in the middle of the court. Your partner stands in front of you, before the net, and stands on a bench or some similar support. Make sure that the bench or support you've chosen is suitably stable. Your partner is going to hit 3 balls, aiming about 1.5 meters away from you. The first ball to the left, the second in front, and the third to the right. Each time, move and take a few quick steps in the direction of the ball so that you're able to take it directly in front of you while standing still. Control the ball's momentum and return it towards your partner. Repeat this sequence 3 times. To expand the exercise further still, ask your partner to say the defense zones only as they are hitting the ball. Master the forearm bump pass while stood still to simulate a match situation. Over to you. In this video, you're going to learn how to attack or spike in order to score a point. To attack well, there are 3 essential steps: jumping, hitting, and landing. Firstly, jumping properly. Head to where you are going to hit the ball. If you're right-handed, finish your run-up with the following 3 steps: left, right, left. Jump forwards, pushing with your left foot to gain speed. Then throw both arms behind you. Land on the heel of your right foot. Bend your legs to push upwards and bring your left foot and your arms forwards. When your left foot touches the ground, push hard off the ground and throw your arms upwards to lift yourself up. Jump up and arch your body slightly, arms bent backwards. Secondly, hitting well. At the peak of your jump, direct your weaker arm towards the ball to help you balance. Position your strong arm behind you, bent, with the elbow above the shoulder. Hit the ball when it is as high up in its trajectory as possible. It should also be slightly in front of you. Your hand should be flat and should strike the ball in its middle. To hit hard, keep your arm straight and bring your right shoulder forwards at the moment of contact. To gain power, strike the ball with a rotating and forward movement, snapping your wrist at the moment of contact. Thirdly, landing. Control your landing to avoid any contact with the net or going into the opponent's court, which would count as a foul. Land on the front of your feet, then bring down your heels and bend your knees slightly. To carry out a good attack, pay attention to your jump, your strike, and your landing. Over to you. In this video, you'll learn how to aim your attack or spike. You will need a partner. Here are 2 situations for you to practice: spike, then spike and aim. Firstly, spiking. The aim of this exercise is to learn how to direct the ball's path when spiking. Stand just level with the 3-meter line, facing the net. Your partner stands close to the net, about 3 meters from where you will spike. Your partner throws the ball in a high arc in front of you at the net. Run, jump, and hit the ball into the other area of the court. Don't forget to adapt your run-up and momentum to the speed and angle of the ball. Repeat this sequence a number of times. Secondly, spiking and aiming. Stand in the same position as before. Place 3 chairs or hoops in order to create 3 shooting zones in the opposite half of the court. The first in position 1, the second in position 6, and the third in position 5. Spike 3 times, aiming for the first zone, and then change target. Adapt your stance and position your body well in order to aim. Take the time to get back into your original position between each spike. Over to you. In this video, you will practice defending against an attack. We will see 2 types of situation: long defense and blind defense. Firstly, long defense. Position yourself just in front of the baseline and in the middle of the court. Your partner stands facing you in front of the net and stands on a bench or an equivalent support. Check that the bench or support is suitably stable. Your partner will send you 3 balls, hit relatively gently but placed around 3 meters from you. The first to your left, the second in front, and the third to your right. Run to defend the ball. Send it back to your partner in one hit by bumping or with one hand. Repeat this series 3 times, trying to return the ball as cleanly as possible. Secondly, blind defense. Position yourself as before. This time, turn your back to the net. Your partner will send you a series of 6 balls, near or far from you, announcing their landing zone before hitting them. These balls will be targeted, but not very powerful. Turn around and, if necessary, run or jump to block the ball by bumping or with one hand. Depending on the distance to be traveled and your reaction time, return the ball in one hit to the inside of the court, as close to your partner as possible. Over to you. In this video, you'll learn how to block. Blocking is not counted as a touch of the ball. Follow these 3 steps in order to block effectively. Prepare, jump, and block. Firstly, prepare. Stand about 30 centimeters from the net. Move towards your opponent by sidestepping or by running along the net. Keep your feet parallel to your shoulders and your legs very slightly bent in order to be ready to jump. Reach your arms up and bend them with your forearms parallel to the net and with your hands at head height. Secondly, jump. Always begin your jump just after your opponent jumps. Simultaneously push with your legs and raise your arms. Jump vertically, keeping your head high and your eyes on the ball. Once in the air, stretch your arms with your hands open and your fingers spread to have maximum surface area for the block. Thirdly, block. Adapt your block depending on the 2 following situations. If you are late or your opponent is bigger than you, block defensively. For this, bring your hands back towards your head, bending your wrists. Try to slow the ball during contact in order to retrieve it afterwards. If the ball is very close to the net or the opponent is smaller than you, block offensively. For this, bend your body forwards so that your arms and hands can enter into the opponent's court. Don't forget to control your fall in order to avoid any contact with the net or entering into the opponent's court, as this would be counted as a foul. Land on your front foot, then uncurl your toes and gently bend your knees. Blocking is the best way to destabilize an attack, so adapt your block according to the match situation. Over to you. In this video, you're going to learn to jump to block an attack. You will need a partner. There are 2 situations for you to practice: jumping, then moving and jumping. Firstly, jumping. Stand approximately 30 centimeters away from the net. Your partner positions themselves on the other side of the court, close to the net, facing you. They stand on a chair or a bench and hold the ball in front of them above the net. Push off with your legs and raise your arms as you do so. Jump up and grab the ball from your partner's hands with both hands. Don't forget to bend your knees as you jump in order to generate power, and once again as you land in order to cushion your landing. Be careful not to touch the net and to land on your side of the net. Repeat the drill several times to master this part of the jump. Next, moving and jumping. This time, move along the net 2 meters to the right of your partner. They will remain in the same position as for the previous drill. Move towards your partner by either sidestepping or running. Once you are facing them, jump and snatch the ball from your partner's grasp with both hands. Start the drill again, but this time starting 2 meters to your left. Repeat the sequence several times and then change roles. Make sure you practice hard, as the block is the key defensive technique, which allows your team to win possession of the ball. Over to you. In this video, you're going to practice diving and rolling when defending. You'll need a floor mat and a partner. To simulate this defensive situation, here are 2 steps to follow: diving and rolling, then returning the ball. Firstly, diving and rolling. Place a rectangular floor mat on the floor. Sit down at one end of the mat. Spread out your arms parallel to the floor. Tilt your head towards one shoulder, for example, to the right. Do a backwards roll onto the mat, supporting yourself with your arms and the left shoulder blade. Try a series of 10 rolls on one side, then onto the other. Then stand around 1.5 to 2 meters away from one edge of the mat. Move sideways towards the mat with a couple of side steps. Bend your legs and approach the mat and lower yourself towards the floor. Absorb the impact of your body falling onto the floor and control the power of your sideways jump. Jump so that you slide along the mat, stretching out your body and supporting yourself with your outstretched arm closest to the net. Try 5 slides on either side, then put the 2 steps together. Move sideways, dive and roll onto the shoulder nearest the mat, then onto the upper back. Try 5 rolls on either side. Secondly, returning the ball. Position yourself as before. Your partner throws the ball 1 meter from the floor over the mat. Jump and dive, returning the ball with one hand, then roll. Make sure you jump with enough speed to be able to stand back up after you've rolled over. Try 5 dive and rolls on both sides. Once you've mastered this step, remove the mat and try the technique directly onto the floor. Over to you. In this video, you will learn about 2 types of overhand jumping serve. We're going to look at how to perform a jump serve and a float serve. First up is the jump serve. Position yourself 2 to 3 meters behind the baseline and look at the area you want to aim the ball at. Toss the ball high into the air in front of you with your hitting hand. Move towards the ball, following its movement with your eyes, and accelerate on the last 2 steps before the jump. Be careful not to step on the baseline or inside the court, as this is considered a foul. Jump upwards and forwards, arching your body and pointing your free arm towards the ball to keep your balance while in the air. Prepare your hitting arm by bringing your elbow back, raised above your shoulder. Swing your hitting arm upward and forwards and hit the ball with your hand held flat and your arm outstretched. Keep your wrist supple. Bend it at the moment of contact to increase the rotation and speed of the ball. Aim for the top of the net and follow through with your serving movement, staying in contact with the ball for as long as possible. Next up, the float serve. Position yourself 1 to 3 meters behind the baseline. Toss the ball and jump, just like in the previous example. Hit the center of the ball swiftly with your hand held flat. Keep your hitting arm outstretched and your wrist straight. Stop your arm as soon as you make contact with the ball, and don't allow it to drop down towards your hips. Hold your jump and don't follow the ball forward to obtain a floating knuckleball effect. You can use this serve to surprise your opponent, as the ball's trajectory is often unpredictable. Jumping serves are difficult to master, so don't get discouraged and get practicing. Over to you.